Hey, welcome to the Gov Shack, everybody. So happy to have you with me this evening, I should say. Way late. I know I have been insanely busy today, just overwhelming this weekend and today going nuts. But I wanted to bring up something I thought was kind of important. It's an important piece. For those of you who do not know, literally tomorrow is going to be the convention for the Republican Party of New York State. They will be having a convention tomorrow in Garden City. Officially may have started tonight already, maybe started, but eventually it will happen after that. The biggest chunk that we have to worry about here is what are they going to do tomorrow? And tomorrow I have to be able to get, I hope, 25% of the delegates there to say yes to me. And if they do, I will be in the Republican primary. That will be amazing. I hope that will happen. It is challenging, though, not an easy thing to do at all. And one of the things that makes it hard is if you look around right now, all over the place, you find that Republican candidates are literally dropping out left and right. Republicans are not actually running. The question is why? Right? Why are so many Republicans leaving? Right? Elise Stefanik left. Mike Henry left. That guy, John, is it Lemondes? I think he left too, right? And then Bruce Blakeman picks a lieutenant governor today, and that guy goes, yeah, I'm in, and just kidding. Now I'm out. And now Laura Loomer is mad because she thinks that this is all some kind of problem and issue and concern. And they're right. The New York GOP is collapsing in many ways. I'm trying to make the resistance work. For those of you who don't get it, it should be, in theory, very easy to find people to run in theory, right? Oh my God, we're going to run for office, which means you're going to get help from the GOP and it's going to be fun. They don't want to. They don't want to. Everywhere we go, people just start dropping. You see it. They start and then end, or I'm not going to say, but it's happening nationally, by the way, also. It's also happening nationally. People just deciding to not run anymore. The question is this an issue? That's New York State. Is it just, look, the electorate is so broken. The electorate is so trashed that there's no way of Republican ever winning. So why would you ever want to run, right? Is that the issue, right? Is that what it is? Or is it an issue to where literally people say, look, I don't want to get involved with the chaos that is Trump? There are people saying that too, that, well, it's because Trump is so chaotic. He's got the tariffs here, then tariffs there, then he's doing this, he's invading this. Is that the issue? Are they worried about that? Is it the e-files, the EpiPen files? I'm on YouTube, so I got to talk like a baby. Is it that? Are people worried he's going to be caught up in that somehow, and now they can't get behind him? Whatever it is, I think what you're finding is across the country, people are walking away from the major two parties, particularly Republicans right now because they're in charge, right? It was the Democrats before. Now it's more Republicans because when the Democrats were in charge, they walked away from Democrats. Now they're walking away from Republicans because they're in charge. You find people saying stuff's not working, so I'm walking away from the specific people that, are in charge now. Is it a Trump issue? Are people distancing themselves from Trump? If so, I'm okay because I'm not endorsed by Trump. So I guess that's good for me, I guess, right? Does that make sense? Maybe I'm in a shot to make this happen. Or is it something else? Are they worried that their career is going to be over? And that literally as they connect to the Republican Party in New York State, if they get another loss, there's nothing left for them. Is that their concern? That too many losses, I had a couple of those myself. Does that mean your career is over? I mean, no for me. But does that mean that? That's an issue that I think people should be thinking about here. So the question is, if you are an establishment Democrat, you should be in a great spot right now. You're probably pretty happy, right? If you're an established Democrat right now in New York State, you're feeling good. I get it. That's who you are. Your people are winning. Any resistance is collapsing. People are getting scared. The Republican Party is still doing exactly what it shouldn't be doing, which is it is literally immediately deciding, you know what? I am going to just fall back and not use democracy and force someone to, just accept what I'm telling you to do. And that's it. Accept it. It's what I'm telling you. This was happening now. All right. I walked down that road. Let me cover three pieces that I think are important. Tomorrow, the convention for the Republicans starts. And sadly, it is not what one might think. It is not where everyone can get together and talk and have a conversation. It's not that. It is a way to end the primaries. The Republican Party is trying to just go, you know what? That's it. You will take my guy. The Republican Party is trying to make Bruce Blakeman the Kamala Harris of the New York GOP. That is their goal tomorrow. We're just going to anoint him and it's done. If they get more than 75% of the vote, there will be no primary in theory. But here's the reality. If that does happen, I will go out against signatures and I'll make a primary anyway. So we're going to primary either way. That's going to happen. But assuming that they don't do that, they just go, you know what? No, we're going to tell what you, Larry Sharpe, go and get signatures. They might do that. But if they do that, they are showing that they just want to create more of the same. Bruce Blakeman today tried to bring in a sheriff as his lieutenant governor, a cop. Of course, I'm not mad at him for bringing a cop, but I said that today. For those of you who were paying attention to my show that I did, my radio show this morning, I said he'll just pick another cop because they don't know any better. Not because I'm against cops. Clearly, I'm not. My father was in law enforcement. I'm not. But the point is, that's what Zeldin did. Oh, I'll just pick a cop. Oh, and then I'll pick another cop. And then the cop dropped out. I'll pick another cop. That's the only people you can pick. There's nobody. Well, if you're an established Republican, yes, that's all you can pick. Now, what they're doing is they're taking Obama, literally Obama, and deciding, oh, there's Obama. You know what we should do? Why don't we put Mitt Romney against him? That's what they're doing right now. Why? Why aren't there 4 or 5 people trying to primary Bruce Blakeman right now? Because he knows he can't win. The only person who can win is the guy you're listening to right now. That's it. That's it. And the sad part is most of them actually know that. I talk to them and they say, Larry, if you win the primary, you'll win the race. Yes, I know. And they still don't want to do it. They still fight me, even though they know I am the only chance of victory for this party, for this state. They still fight me because they're worried. Here's the problem. They're worried about sacrificing the entire state so that they can somehow gain something, I guess, at the state level, at the federal level. Is that their answer? It's pretty bad. Trump right now is not popular. It's true. You are seeing it everywhere. There are many people that I've spoken to in New York who like Trump. Believe it or not, there are many in New York City who do. Not as many as you would think. I mean, a lot of people don't, but there are people who do. And those who have come to me and talked to me, they know that I'm not anti-Trump. They're like, I'm like, whatever. And they like him. And they came to me today. One of them said, his words to me, he goes, I'm getting tired of the chaos. That's what he said. He said, I'm getting tired of the chaos. This is a Trump supporter. There's worry there. Trump has got to square this away, and people are getting scared. They're getting worried that he's going to be too chaotic. They're getting worried he's going to make some stupid mistake. They're getting worried that he's going to get caught up in EpiPen files. They're worried about all those things, and they don't be attached. And that's why you see him dropping out. They're getting worried. Not just that. The economy's garbage. You can say, well, the stock market's doing well. So jobs are going away and not coming back, and no one has an answer. They don't be part of that. They don't want to watch it. They don't want to keep being a punching bag, as someone mentioned earlier today. They don't want to keep being a punching bag and get nothing. I get it. You should, if you're a New Yorker right now, I would argue if you're just an American right now, you should be looking right now and saying to yourself, my God, this is not going well. If the Republicans can't get people to run at all, this is a problem. Now, I brought this up about the Democrats years ago. I told you guys that in Utah and Nebraska right now, Democrats don't bother running statewide candidates. They have no chance of victory. They can't do anything. So literally, independents run. That's what happens in Utah and in Nebraska. Now, I was obviously trying to set that up for Libertarians a couple years back, but the system said, no, you can't have that. So now I have to go through the Republicans now to get some kind of resistance in this state. And they don't want it either. Well, I'm sorry, it's not true. The Republican leadership doesn't want it. The Republicans in this state can't wait to have some type of resistance. They cannot wait. They cannot wait to have something happen. Sadly, the leadership, not so much. So this is a problem. We should be worried. We can fix this. The answer is, believe it or not, whether you like Trump or not, Trump had the right answer, and the answer is coalition. When he brought on RFK Jr., when he brought on Elon Musk, when he brought on Tulsi Gabbard, when he brought on those people to create that coalition, that is the reason why he won the popular vote. That is the reason why he won all 7 swing states. He might have won the election anyway, I don't know, but he would have never gotten a mandate without that coalition. Coalition is the answer. So what am I asking you to do? If you live in New York State, I'm asking you right now, tonight, I'm not joking, tonight, to call your email, your text, your Republican leadership in your state, whether you're Republican or not, I don't care, in your county, in your city, in your municipality, call, email, text them, whatever, and say, hey, I want a primary with Larry Sharpe in it. That's it. I want a primary with Larry Sharpe in it. Call, email, text, whatever's appropriate. If you happen to know the guy, tap him on the shoulder, be nice, don't be mean, and tell him that you want Larry Sharpe in a primary with Bruce Blakeman. Tell them that today. Again, it starts tomorrow, and that's what matters. We'll grab a couple comments here if I could. JJ, thank you for $2, my friend. He says, is it a nominating convention like the National Convention, LP, or something different? I thought on state electoral colleges for large states. No, what's supposed to happen, JJ, is there's supposed to be a primary. But again, the Republicans do not want a primary. So Republicans literally just said, oh, I know our primary usually goes in March. No, February. And I know usually we don't force you to have lieutenant governor on your ticket, but this time we are, just to make sure no one can get a lieutenant governor and it'll fail, just for that reason. And we're going to have it in Bruce Blakeman's backyard, downstate at the most eastern part of the entire state. So everyone in Western New York is screwed. And we're going to have $1,000 for us to go to this event. I'm not joking, to go to the dinner. And we're going to co-sponsor it with Bruce Blakeman and the New York GOP. I'm not joking. Could you imagine some political party who says they're neutral, we don't care about candidates, co-sponsoring with a candidate? Could you imagine the Democratic Party having their convention co-sponsored by the candidate they want? Yes, that's what we're doing. We're so no primary. They're just doing that. So that's what's happening. That's not normal, but it's now. I don't know how that works, but that's how that works now. So yes. So I hope that at least answers your question. I appreciate that. So Joey says, Sharpe for governor. You got my vote. Republican from Clinton County. Thank you. By the way, guys, if you guys are in New York State and you want to vote for me in the primary, you have to change your registration from whatever it is to Republican no later than February 14th. That is the last day you can change your registration. February 14th. Please do that. So yes. Gibson asks, will you be announcing your running mate tonight? I'll probably announce my running mate tomorrow morning is my thought process. Maybe. By New York State rules, I don't have to have a running mate until after the primary in June. But the Republican Party has just decided their laws, their rules are tomorrow, which is why you found out that when Blakeman's guy bailed, he immediately grabbed the next guy he could find. But no, not that guy, because then he couldn't do it tomorrow. But then again, what would have happened if Blakeman couldn't have found a lieutenant governor? They just would have changed the rules, because that's what they do, change the rules. So probably announcing mine tomorrow is my thought process. Maybe late tonight, but probably tomorrow is what I'm thinking. Just so it's for those of you who are concerned. So I hope that answers your question. Let me walk down some more if I can. A lot of comments here. I'm going to grab some comments. So let's see here. John says, glad we got an actual Gov Shack today. Yes, because there'll be no show for me the next 2 days. So I did push one because there'll be no show next 2 days. I'll be at the convention. So there'll be no shows for the next 2 days. This is why I pushed it tonight, even though I was crazy busy. My team was like, do you just want to postpone or cancel? I was like, kinda, but no, I got to go do something. So yeah, there we go. All righty. I hope that answers your question too. Kimberly says, Larry Sharpe for government 2026. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Adam says, it's crazy that the New York GOP is so purely testing potential candidates when it's slowly turning into a party of one. I'm not sure at all. I think the reverse is true. I think the GOP party is not purity testing. I think it's power testing, not purity. Blakeman isn't pure by any means. Blakeman just called for amnesty last week when he was on a Fox 5 New York City station. He called for amnesty. That's not purity at all. He's pro-choice, not purity for Republicans, conservatives, hates Second Amendment, and is for red flag laws. So the last thing they're doing is purity tests. Blakeman is as far as conservatives go, he's a terrible conservative. He's not even conservative. He's not. He's a mid-of-the-road, he's a Mitt Romney Republican. I'm not even joking. He's a Mitt Romney Republican. How will that work out? Just terrible. This is not the right answer. So it's not. The problem is no one else wants to run. This is who they got. It's not great. So Sam says, I think a lot of people are afraid of being Charlied by some radical. That's true too. Some guy today told me that. My team has been worried about that happening to me. And I get it. But to be forward with you guys, I knew that when I started this. I did. For those who remember, when I ran in 2022 and 2018, I had no DEATH. I'm YouTube. I got to look a baby. I had none of those threats in 2022 because my campaign was garbage in 2022. I wish it was better, but it was a terrible campaign. 2018 was a very good campaign. I had a couple of them back then, and I knew it could be a problem. And I still went. Could it happen now? Yes. Is it going to stop me? No. If I have to experience some lead, then I will have to experience some lead. Let's hope it isn't the last experience I have. But I accept that. Absolutely. I know that. I accept that. Kimberly says the e-files will bring both wings down. The issue, though, is many of the people in the e-files on the left side of the wing are already out of government, right? They're much more past tense, much more done. So that does, while you're right, it doesn't affect the left as much because they are actually a much relative to the Republicans. They're not young, but relative to Republicans, they're younger. So a lot of them weren't part of the cool 90s and 2000s. A lot of them weren't part of it. So while you're right, it will affect both sides. It won't affect the left as much because less of them were physically there. If that makes any sense. So yes, but it will be skewed more towards the right because more of them were around at the time. Like the Bill Clintons of the world, they're out of politics. They're getting hammered, but they're out of politics. Doesn't really matter, right? The Bidens, they're gone. Doesn't really matter anymore. But a lot of the older Republicans are still currently in power. So yes to both, but by percentage, it will hit Republicans harder because they're in power right now. So I hope that makes sense. So yes. Andrew says, were primaries ever Democrat to begin? Andrea says they want to install a candidate. They are actually going to do that. They are going to install a candidate and go take them. And then they're going to complain. They're going to say, see, you Democrats, you guys are bad guys. You guys are bad guys, you Democrats. You guys are bad guys. But we do the same thing. Republicans, look, I make a very specific, I need to be clear here. When I say Republicans, I mean Republican leadership. The average Republican in New York State does not want someone to be installed. They were mad at how Democrats did Kamala Harris. Trump didn't like it either. Nobody liked it except just the only people who liked Kamala being anointed were the elites in the Democratic Party. That's all. That's when people cared. Same piece here. The average Republican does not like the idea. We're just going to give you Blakeman. Why? They don't know who he is. They don't care. They don't want that. He doesn't care about them. They know it. They can't stand it. The Republican leadership loves it. The Republican elites are like, yeah, that's our guy. The purity test isn't pure. It's does he have enough cash to feed us all? And Blakeman does. He's got millions of dollars from previous campaigns. He doesn't raise much money. He's only raised like $200,000. But he has millions from other campaigns he can throw into this. It's legal. It's not illegal. He just transfers it in. So he transfers millions in. Everybody gets paid. We're good. That's what they care about. So yes, Tox is purple shirt. Yes, I do own a purple shirt and I do wear it sometimes. That's true. Yes. So, all righty. Phil says Iron Sharpe. Do you guys like that one? Did you like that Iron Sharpe meme? She does it here. Who saw the Iron Sharpe meme come out? It was kind of cute. See if I can find it. So what did she say? Hold on. Someone commented Larry Tharp in Tyson's voice. That's pretty good. Okay, hold on. See if I can find it. I have a cool one which I like. I guess I'll show it now. People are asking me about this, so maybe I'll show this one. I am directly and absolutely, to be very clear, I want to be very clear. I am directly and clearly biting off of RFK Jr. Just be clear. I'm not even trying to act like it's my idea. It's not. I am blatantly biting off of him. Blatantly biting off of him. So yes, they say maybe I'll get sued, maybe for IP. I don't care. Blatantly biting off. It is amazing. You can eat real food at realfood.gov, or you can vote real change at LarrySharpe.com. You can do both. It's RFK Jr. and Larry Sharpe. It's true. Please enjoy. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And while I'm talking about that, if you want to go to LarrySharpe.com, you can. Also, if you want to head over there, head to LarrySharpe.com/donate. This is still a fundraiser, so please give if you can. Every dollar does count. We're trying to move this forward. If you want to gain something for it, head over to LarrySharpe.com/shop. And you can pick up a shirt, a hoodie, some cups, bumper stickers, whatever you like. Please enjoy. It does matter. Guys, I am judged by how much money I raise. I am judged by how much money I raised. That's how it works. I am judged by that. If you want me to be judged poorly, don't give me money. For me to judge like I'm a heavy hitter, give me money. It's how it works. I didn't make the rules. It's just how it is. If you guys can donate, please do so. Here's what I would like, because I need to get matching funds. As you know, matching funds. Matching funds is if I'm able to get 500,000 people to give 5,000 people, to give me $500,000, New York State will match me 6-1. 6-1. So what does that mean? If you give $100, it just became $600. So I need 5,000 donors though also. So here's a request I have. If your family said, Larry, my family can give you $100. I love that. Can you have 2 people in your family give me $50? Is that appropriate? Can you do that? That'd be amazing, because then I get 2 donors. Does that make sense? If your family can give me $100, is it possible for that to be two sets, $50 each from 2 people? If you can do that, that'd be amazing. Got to be adults and New York State residents, please. So if you can do that, that'd be amazing. But no matter what, click the like button. That's free. Like button's free. Reposting this someplace. Also, by the way, if you repost this someplace, also free. Yes. So there's some free stuff you can do to help out. Absolutely. So don't forget, you can help out with some free stuff if you want. Let me grab some more. Phil says Sharpe Coalition. I like the Sharpe Coalition. I love that. There we go. D says bring up the side by side. I did that already. Yeah, there it is. Absolutely. Nicholas says, I just emailed the Onondaga and Oswego County parties. Thank you. Thank you. The more, the merrier. Look, if they feel any actual pressure, if they do, then they'll give me the 25% that I need tomorrow. If they do that, then we will be able to get in the primary. That's the issue. Yes, 100%. We want to make this happen. Lunatic says, I give Larry all my money so I can get in the governor's mansion. I appreciate that. Don't give me all your money. I like you give me money. Please keep doing that. Not all. I don't want to make individuals too weak on their own. So not all your money. What you can afford, please. Yes, what you can afford, please. Adam says, so which Republicans in New York have a convention vote? I want to make sure I'm calling the right person. The reality of it is they do proxy voting. For what for you guys who think there's any kind of democracy, there's some. There's not much. So generally speaking, because it's so expensive to get there, you've got to go there, stay in a hotel, which is several $100s per night in a hotel, travel there, which is far away in literally in the coldest, time there is in the state. And then if you want to go to dinner, it's $1,000 a plate to go to dinner if you want to go there. So it's insanely expensive and time consuming and middle of the week. They didn't do it on a weekend. Did it Tuesday, Wednesday, middle of the week. So this was made to exclude as many people as possible, number one. And 2, they have what's called proxy voting. So they say, hey, county chair, you're a proxy for everyone else's vote. Yeah. So one guy can show up and have like the equivalent of like 50 votes. I'm not even joking. So all they have to do is convince the one guy. So they bribe the one guy in some way. He does the vote. They get all the votes. Yeah, I know. You think I'm making it up? I'm not. So how do I know? I don't know. Reach out to all of them. Pressure is what matters. That's what matters. Pressure is what matters. So yes. 99 says, Larry, if you don't get the nod from the convention here, do you also have to change your registration as well in order to collect signatures? No, I don't. No, doesn't matter at all. That's not real. But I will be collecting signatures if it doesn't work. Yes. Chuck says, I know you've said no Republican can win, and that's why running term is best. How is it going to change? We taking their line. Will people see you in a Republican and not vote for you? Yes, they might, which is why I'm also getting Libertarian line, Chuck. It's a very valid point, right? I'm trying to get a coalition going. In my perfect world, I'm going to have 4 lines. Can I afford to get them all? Will we support to get them all? I hope so. But the goal is to get Republican line, conservative line, Libertarian line, and We the People line. My goal is to have 4 lines. Having just the Republican line, I think it's exactly right. You probably can't win. Yeah, I've said it before. So yes, so I need to have other lines. That's why I'm trying to get other lines. Your point is a valid one. There are some people who would just never vote for a Republican in this state, period, no matter what. They just will not. If you're a Republican in this state and you're a hardcore Republican, or you know people who are, what would it take for you to vote for a Democrat? Yeah, a lot. So you have to have a second or third line to make it happen. So it's a very valid point, which is why I'm trying to do that. Exactly right. So, all righty. Okay. Andrew says, will local Republican leadership take newer registries seriously? Dumb question. I know, but of course they want new ones. They want new blood. Absolutely. They want you to come in. Okay. For those who don't know, in New York State, the Republican Party is only 23% of the electorate and going down. 23 and going down. They will happily take that. Yes, absolutely. So Rona says, don't kirk me, bro. Louder, Sharpe, maybe. I didn't say that. Tara Wamba says mid Romney Republican. Nice. Not mid Romney. You're right. I like that better. Yes. Tara Wamba goes on to say, e-files are bringing down more European leaders than American. That too. Yes. Yes. John says, what do you say to the Republicans if you got this initiative for Libertarian line, with the Republican line, in the general election and won? I don't know what you mean by that. Since the LP would have ballot acts again, they would be afraid they would start having Libertarians throughout the state running against them locally, and to the state, it will go against their own interests of the party. Yeah, the average Republicans don't care, John. The leadership cares. They're worried about that. They care more about that than anything else. The average Republican wants change. So does the leadership hate it? Yes, it's completely correct. Does the average Republican hate it? No, they don't care. The average Republican will be happy to have Libertarians running too. The average Republican voter. It's like, good, let them run too. Who cares? But you know what's actually going to happen. And it happened when we first started, when we had it last time in 2019. We had about 107 victories in 2019, but the vast majority of them were somehow cross-endorsed. There were only about, I think, 9 or 10, I forgot the number, around 10 who were only Libertarians. The rest were somehow cross-endorsed. They're going to be grabbing cross endorsements from people left and right, John. And you, I hope to give you this problem. I hope to give you the problem to where you have to spend a whole lot of time vetting people and raising money so that you can decide which people you will decide to cross endorse and which you will not. I hope I give you that problem, John. That is my hope. I'll be like, man, all these people who want to decide and be more libertarian. I hope that happens. So yeah. So your point's valid for the leadership. The average Republican doesn't care, just wants change. The average Republican would like to just not have Kathy Hochul win again. The Republican leadership doesn't care if Kathy Hochul wins again. If they did, they wouldn't be picking Blakeman. They just want what you want. So what you just talked about. So I hope that's clear. Hope that makes sense at least. So, all righty. Let's see here. Tara Wombat says, let's crowdfund Larry's face. No. No. Yes. All righty. John says, I bought a shirt today. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Alice says, message Conchano of New York State. I'm not who that is, but I'm sure it's someone. So I'll take that. I like it. Yes. Nico says, where are you at matching funds? Not there yet. I'm over 2,000 donors short. So I need more people to register. I'm very short on number of them. That's why you just heard me say, Nico, if your household can give me $100, can you do it for 2 people? Is that realistic? Can you have like husband, wife, elder child, can you have that happen? That will be amazing if you can. So yes. All righty. Nicholas, talking to John. I think much like 2019, the Republicans just try and get the LP lines. True. That's true. That will happen. Yep. D says, so I'm sure everyone has seen Loomer attacking Blakeman's LG pick. Should we be reaching out to get Laura back on Larry's podcast? Let's move on from that one. Alice says they heard of you. Oh, thank you. I'm glad people generally have heard. That's true. They generally have heard. Yes. Sam says, I sent a Facebook message to Steuben County Republicans. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Adam says, I already donated $50 a week ago. You just convinced me to another 20. Oh, thank you, my friend. I keep going, brother. I got to keep going. Yes. Yes. Brona says, that really wasn't a joke. It's a genuine concern. At the same time, Ron Paul. You think I don't know that? I wasn't joking. Do you think, why do you think nobody does this, Bronner? It's punishment. What I do, I try my best to make it look as easy as I can. I do. I try my best to do that. The reality of it is, this is not easy at all if you do it seriously. Some people don't do it seriously, and then they're like, I'm running for something, and they sign a piece of paper, you never see them again. But if you do this realistically and you challenge people, yes. Don't you think I get yelled at in the public? Of course. Why do you think people don't do this? Yes. I literally make sure that my life insurance is up. It's not a joke. I'm with you. I don't want to, I mean, I'm making it sound dramatic now, but I don't want it to feel dramatic. Someone's got to do this. It is financial punishment. It is social punishment. Every mistake I make is put out online forever. Everything I do, and people bug me about shit I said years ago and never gonna stop. This goes to my grave, right? Whatever I say and do, any mistake I make, and I think I was off color, that goes to my grave. It never goes away, ever. Financial, I get destroyed because I'm remember something, guys. In the past three election cycles, 2018, 2022, 2026, the only person running who wasn't being paid by the government, I mean your tax dollars, was me. I'm the only one that's get paid to run. Blakeman gets paid by the government to run, right? He supposedly is running Nassau County, and he gets paid to run around. He gets a salary to do this. I don't. Kathy Hochul gets a salary. She's governor of New York, gets a salary to do this. The system's set up for only the elites to run. So this is nothing but punishment. And I might take a little, lead while I'm at it. Correct. And I don't get security. They do. They get government funded security. I don't. Neither did RFK Jr., by the way. RFK Jr., when he was running, and again, to be clear, shame on Biden for not giving RFK Jr. immediately security. Shame on him. His freaking dad was murdered, right? I mean, that's embarrassingly bad for that. He had to drop $1 million a month on security. Your dad and your uncle already been killed. Hopefully one day I'll require security too. But yeah, of course. So anyway, Shreya says, how does Larry Sharpe get Republican to show up? No show could be the answer for hardcore Republicans if you're nominated. Hold on. How does Larry Sharpe get Republicans to show up? No show could be the answer for hardcore Republicans if you're nominated. I mean, maybe, but why would they? It's possible. Most Republicans in New York State aren't mad at me at all, right? I mean, they get mad at me because they think I'm going to stop Blakeman or something. But if I was nominated, they wouldn't care. They're like, good. The leadership would still be angry, but so what? Yes. So anyway, all right. D said someone on Larry Sharpe X actually said they couldn't vote for somebody with a face tattoo. Let the actually think it's a real picture of Larry. I love that. I hope they do. Yes. Nosy says, is it legal for door knockers to have donations for you, Larry? I would rather they not. I don't know if it's legal or not, but I want them to support me. And if they want to, let them know where to go. That's it. So yes, I'd rather them do that instead. So yeah. All righty. Let's say here. Cover that piece. Cover that one. All right. Missy says, please share this with your friends and followers. Let everyone know that Larry's live right now. She's right. Please do that, guys. Remember, this is still a fundraiser. I give you guys whatever I can. I answer questions. I want to make sure I'm always available for you, as does matter. I knew I couldn't do shows for the next 2 days, so I'll be at the convention. So I want to give you guys something to talk about. So we're still here. Remember, if you can donate, please donate. If you can volunteer, LarrySharpe.com/volunteer. Larry Sharpe fundraiser.com/shop if you want to pick up a shirt or a hoodie or something like that. Awesome. But the free part here, click the like button. Please share it if you can. If you haven't already subscribed to this page or whatever is the channel or page you're on, please do that too. It does matter. Every bit does count. And of course, donate if you can. Appreciate that. Yes. Bruce says, like your opinion of the Unsafe Act. Hardly a peep from mainstream Republicans on two-way support. I was vote for the Republican candidates, but on conservative or libertarian line. There we go. This is my point earlier, right? A lot of people would want to vote for me, but not on the Republican line. True. Yes. So thank you for that, Bruce. I appreciate that. Yes. All righty. Shreya says Biden's auto pen didn't know to give RFK Jr. security. It might have been that. Yeah. Yes. Tara Wombat says hardcore Republicans hate the party more than Democrats do. This, boy, Tara Wombat, are you correct on this one? You have hit a very important piece. There's a whole lot of people who are real hardcore Republicans who are like, why am I even bothering to vote? You're right. They're like, why? They cannot stand what the party's become. They don't like the leadership of it. They don't like what's happening. I completely agree. I meet many people who think exactly like that. You are correct. Very true. Yes. All righty. Let's see here. Okay, cover that one. Okay. Globalist. I'm going to leave that one alone. Tell your friends about the greatest candidate for GVR. Oh, forgot. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, please. There we go. Nosy says, if I didn't have so many animals, I'd drive a digital billboard all over New York State with everything Larry Sharpe. Oh, guys, that's there was a guy in 2018 who actually had a pickup truck who actually put that on the back of his truck. And whenever he drove, he just left it out there. That is a wonderful, wonderful idea. If any of you have that, if you live in New York State, and if any of you have a vehicle that you can put something on, a Larry Sharpe sticker, sign, spray paint, whatever, and leave it place, yes, that's real. Yes, that's real. So if possible, yes, that would be amazing. Any of those is great. So yes. All righty. I think I covered that piece already. There we go. Yeah, that will cover. Ed says, Nosy, the best I can do is a Sharpe car magnet. I'll take it. I will take it. Every bit we can get, I will absolutely take it. I appreciate every bit. Every little bit does count. I do appreciate it, guys. Of course. Yes. It's amazing. Look, Nate was the sign guy. He was making signs in his garage, and he was putting them out everywhere. Signs do matter. You might say to yourself, Larry, but we've already known that lawn signs don't change people's minds. That's not true when the candidates are independent or rebels. What I mean by that, if it's just the standard Democrat versus Republican, you're right. A sign doesn't make me go, wait a minute, now I'm a Republican. Oh, wait a minute, now I'm a Democrat. You're right, it doesn't. But when someone is more of an independent candidate or unknown, the sign does something very important. Lets people know, oh, this guy's real. That's what it actually does. This guy's real. So it really does matter. If people see the name, why do I always ask you this? I say, guys, do me a favor. If you're out on social media and you see anything to do with New York State or Kathy Hochul or Bruce Blake, whatever, put my name there. Right? Hey, Larry Sharpe for governor, or have you heard about Larry Sharpe? Or what about Larry? Whatever. Any of that. Every time my name is out there, name recognition matters so much. It goes, oh, that guy's real. Huh. I should look at him. I should decide if I want him or not. This piece really does matter. So I ask all the time. Please do so if you want. Gracie says, Larry has great merch. I'm still wearing my shirt from 2018. I still wear my 2018 merch all the time. I do. Look, some people will tease me and say, Larry, you're always running. I'm not always running. I've only run, this is my third time. I've run for one thing, governor of New York. That's it. If you want to wear my merch from 2018, it's still good. I'm running for governor of New York. You want to wear my merch from 2022? Still good. Running from governor of New York. You want to wear my merch from now? Still good. Running for governor of New York. I want to fix this state. I want to fix this state. So, yeah. Dina says, we could use some old-fashioned sticky bumper stickers. The magnetic ones don't stick to everything. That's a good point. You know what? I'm going to look at that. Thank you for bringing this up. we had the old ones were all sticky, right? This is a new one, magnetic. The old ones were sticky. I think maybe we'll go back to some of those too. Maybe I'll give you guys an option. Let me work on that piece too. That's a great point, Jen. I appreciate that. Yeah, we will see if that will work. I hope that will work. I will see. Guys, I don't want this show to be that long. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of back and forth to say hi, all the kind of good stuff. Please donate if you can. I know I bug you. Tomorrow is the convention. If I'm able to get 25% of the vote, of the weighted vote of delegates tomorrow and Wednesday, whenever they do their vote, then I will be in the Republican primary without having to go out and get signatures. If they tell me no, which they may say, no, Larry, we don't like you enough, or we want to make sure Mr. Blakeman is going to be our anointed one. I will then have to go out and get signatures, which I will do. I will go and get signatures. I will do it. I've done it before, and I'll be anyway, but it just costs me time and money and energy, and I'll go do it. If I have to do it, I'm going to ask for your help. I am. If I have to go get signatures, I will ask for your help. I will ask you to get me signatures. I will give you details when the time comes. Don't worry. I'll give you details so you'll know how to do it, what to do. Every single bit counts. I need 15,000 signatures, and they must be of Republicans, registered Republicans in New York State. So I will talk to you about how to do that, all that kind of good stuff. I will do that. So when the time comes, if we need that. Before that, I must ask you again, please, if you live in New York State, reach out to your Republican leadership in your county or city or state and say, hey, I want Larry Sharpe to be in the primary of Bruce Blakeman. That's it. That will work. Just doing that will work. The more pressure they get, the higher chance that they go, you know what? Fine, give it to them. They may not care. Remember, the Republican leadership is not happy with me. Otherwise, they'd be happy with this. They're not. But the average Republican voter in New York State, like, great, let's get somebody let's do this. Let's do it. I love it. It's definitely important to make that happen. So I hope that will work if you guys can help it out. So yes. All right, let me grab a couple more comments here. Looking over at Rumble. Space Station says, just somebody, thank you, my friend. Paparoni says, I have your sign in my street side window, waiting to wash my truck for my next signs. Oh, thank you, my friend. I love that tremendously. Yes, that's amazing. Thank you for all the help. Every bit does count. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Yes. All righty. Deanna says, done in Monroe County. Thank you. Yes. Nosy says, can they register for Republican at the same time they sign a petition for you? Like, no, they cannot. Because petitioning doesn't start until, I think, late February. And the time to register Republican is February 14th. They made sure of that. So, no, they may not. You must change your registration prior to prior to February 14th. So, yes, just to be sure, they will not be able to do so. All righty. I did that one. Tara Wombat says, I want a regular like onion sticker. Oh, with a QR code. All right, team, you listen to this? I like this. Phil says, 2 donations from my house. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Gracie says, every time I diehard Republican votes gold, Thomas Massey gets more wings and waves them at Trump. That's kind of funny. I like that. That's good. I like that. That's good. Brona asks, will there be a way to see the convention online in real time? I don't think so. They have labeled it as a private event because they want to make sure no one can stop them. I know, embarrassingly bad. But yes, absolutely. So, yeah. Yeah. Adirondack says, I emailed Liz Joy and asked her about Republican primary. I like Liz. I saw her last week at the conservative convention. So yeah, I love that. Okay. Let's see here. Nosy says, can we call this a bumper sticker campaign? I like that. Christopher says, I get positive and negative feedback from sharing Larry's stuff. It all gets attention. Yes. I love that. 100%. 100%. Yes. In this case, all attention is good. Grace says, I feel like it's almost a two-way race between you and Empress Kathy. Here's the reality. For those of you who get upset and don't understand how this works, there's only 2 options for next year. And it will either be Kathy Hochul wins again or me. Bruce Blakeman has 0 chance of winning. If you think that he does, you have been fooled in some way, shape, or form, or you're not paying attention. He has 0 chance of winning. You must create a coalition or he will lose. I am trying my best to create this coalition. You see me doing it. I've been doing it for years. I hope it works. If it works, we'll create a coalition and I'll win. If it doesn't, Kathy Hochul wins. Those are the only two options. Anything else is just fantasy. And I'm trying to show you guys that, and I hope it makes sense. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. So any case, let's see. I think I've gone through that piece. Glenn says, Larry Sharpe becoming governor of New York, a reason to become a New Yorker. Yes. Thank you. Remember, no matter what, guys, you can always vote for me in the, if you decide to not change your registration to Republican, you can still vote for me in the general. So either way, you can get you. In fact, if you change your registration to Republican, you can vote for me twice. There we go. Yes, you can vote for me twice. I love that. So, all righty. Okay. Little Fox says, Larry, I support you and others I know do too. I ultimately think the establishment will make it difficult, but they can be overcome. I hope you're right, and I agree. The establishment is making it harder. They keep punishing me. Of course they do. They go out of their way to. They go out of their way to. Of course they do. And we have to keep fighting. They've been fighting me for 8 years, brother. And I keep coming. They have to understand something. I will get as many parties as I can, put every party into the gauntlet, and I will be inevitable. Yes, that's true. So let me ask you, guys, if I could, again, if you can donate, please donate. Every bit counts. I got to keep making cash so I can keep moving forward. It is insanely difficult, but I don't want to stop. I'm sacrificing. I'm asking you to sacrifice too. If I can get you to give me a monthly donation, 10, 20, 40, 50, whatever you could do, all good. Monthly's always better. If you can do it, that's great. If you can, please do so. If you can, I appreciate it. But not just that. I'm asking you tonight to reach out to any Republicans you know in New York State and say, hey, I want Republican leadership, whether that's an elected official, whether that's a county chair, whatever it might be, a local, municipality chair, whatever the case may be. Reach out and say, hey, I want Larry Sharpe in the primary with Blakeman. Doing that will help tremendously. All right. Remember though, as I wrap this up, please comment after the live. I'm going to ask you, I'm not sure what the right question is tonight. It's a good question. What is the biggest reason why Republicans are dropping out? What's the number one reason why Republicans are dropping out and not finishing their races here in New York State? What's the biggest reason? Please let me know if you would. And of course, if you see this not live, you see some videos, watch one of them right away, about 8 minutes. Mr. Rhythm loves it. Mr. Al, go Rhythm.